Well, Tulsi Gabbard is now endorsing Donald Trump. She announced it today. I haven't yet watched the official endorsement yet, so I thought maybe we should watch it together. Let me bring that up.
And today I'm honored to officially welcome another true American patriot, a 17-year veteran of the Hawaii Army National Guard, a four-term Democrat congresswoman, very, very popular, the former vice chair of the National Democratic Party and a 2020 Democrat candidate for the United States presidency. She was a very good candidate. Every time she ran, she was good. She did well. She decided to leave. She couldn't take it anymore, but she is very special. And I didn't know this, but she was a lieutenant colonel. That's not bad. Lieutenant colonel. Not bad. I didn't know that. I just found out. I said, put it down. You got to put that down. That's bigger. That's better than all the other stuff I read. But no, she's a special person. She's got great common sense, great spirit. She loves our country, and she loves the people in this room. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Aloha. I know we got Hawaii in the house here. There we go. It is a privilege to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters in uniform, especially on this day of all days.
Before she starts, I find it hilarious that basically Hawaii has trained the rest of America with aloha. It's amazing. If you go into any building or any room, all you need to say aloha, and everybody will say aloha back. I may be a bit hyperbolic there, but that's kind of what it seems like to me. Anytime someone says that at church over the pulpit, they know they're going to get aloha back. Why is that? Like in my ward, I doubt most of the people have been to Hawaii. But for some reason, they have been trained to say aloha back. And I just find that hilarious that Hawaii has trained everyone in such a way. Yeah. Side point there.
Days. I had the privilege of joining President Trump this morning at Arlington Cemetery, where he joined two Gold Star families and loved ones of Staff Sergeant Hoover and Sergeant G, both of whom were two of the 13 killed in the Abbey Gate attack 3 years ago today in Kabul. And I can tell you, as we were there, as he laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, joining these Marines' loved ones, I felt the sorrow that he shared with them in their loss. I felt and saw his sincere appreciation for these servicemen and women who paid the ultimate price and their loved ones who continue to grieve to this day. This is personal for me, as I know it is for so many of you here. This is real. It's not just words. I first deployed to Iraq in 2005 with the Hawaii Army National Guard as a member of Charlie Med. As those of you who were deployed during that time know, it was the height of the war, and sadly, we took many casualties. And every day we were confronted with that high human cost of war and that sadness as we boarded the plane when we left, that we were leaving some of our brothers and sisters behind, only to lose others when we got home to suicide. So I mean what I say when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. We saw this through his first term in the presidency, when he not only didn't start any new wars, he took action to de-escalate and prevent wars. He exercised the courage that we expect from our commander-in-chief in exhausting all measures of diplomacy, having the courage to meet with adversaries, dictators, allies, and partners alike in the pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last resort. The truth is, as we head towards our decision as a country in November, the same cannot be said about Kamala Harris. In fact, the opposite is true, and we're living through this reality today as this administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House, where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief. Because I am confident that his first task will be to do the work to walk us back from the brink of war. We cannot be prosperous unless we are at peace. And we can't live free as long as we have a government that is retaliating against its political opponents and undermining our civil liberties, weaponizing our very institutions against those they deem as a threat. Kamala Harris has done this over the last 3.5 years. She won't hesitate to continue that if she is elected as president. President Trump has been their first and foremost target in this because they don't want us as voters to even have the option to vote for him. I've been their most recent target, added to a secret domestic terror watch list after exposing the truth about what kind of dangers we would face if Kamala Harris is elected as president. We as Americans must stand together to reject this anti-freedom culture of political retaliation and abuse of power. We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future. I am proud to stand here before you today, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. If you love our country, as I do, if you cherish peace and freedom as we do, I invite you to join me in doing all that we can to save our country and elect President Donald J. Trump and send him back to the White House to do the tough work of saving our country and serving the people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
So yeah, the first time I even heard about Tulsi Gabbard was, I think, was it 2010 or thereabouts, when there was a hit piece out on her because she went to Syria to meet with Assad because Obama refused to. And let me verify the date on that. I think it was something like that. She was elected in 2012. And it was 2017. Okay, so it was a few years after when I thought it was. But yeah, first time I heard about her was in 2017, when she'd already been in office for a few years, but I didn't really pay that close attention to who was in Congress beyond maybe the reps that were directly related to me. And really back then, I didn't pay that much attention to them either. But when I heard about her going to meet with Assad, I was thinking, wow, that's actually really awesome. Wait, is that right? She met Assad in 2017? That would be during Trump's presidency. I thought that was during Obama's presidency. Which makes that interesting in and of itself. I'll need to verify that. But anyway, America was on the brink of war with Syria, and we're kind of helping ISIS / the freedom fighters fight against Assad in Syria. And the only reason why Assad didn't get toppled is really because Russia stepped in on Assad's side. And I have no idea why we were involved at all. Really, there's talking points that he was gassing his own people and things like that, but yeah, all of that turned out to be lies, and he wasn't gassing his own people. That a lot of it was ISIS and ISIS-related people that were doing that, trying to provoke America into getting more and more involved in Syria. Anyway, so that was the first time I ever heard about Tulsi, was back then. And I thought, oh, hey, she seems a little bit anti-war. And she's a member of the state or the National Guard, which means she knows about war and she's anti-war, which is a really neat mix. I like that. She was a Democrat, so opposite party from where I usually stand. But I liked seeing that she was willing to go against the party line when most of both parties was very pro-war, it seemed to be at that point. Basically, she and Thomas Massey and a few other representatives like that were the few people that were actually kind of anti-war. Thankfully, things have moved more and more that direction where we don't have to go blow up kids anymore, like Obama did. And as Trump mentioned, she's got a fairly good resume. She was the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. She ran for president back in 2020. She was a state rep for quite a few years. State rep. She was a representative from Hawaii for a few years. And so she's been around, but it always seems like she's more important. She's more interested in principles rather than party politics. And I've watched a few videos or interviews of her where she talked about the kind of the behind the scenes where she really aggravated the Hillary Clinton crowd. And because of that, she was booted from the party. But again, she cared more about principles than party. And that is something that I really like. And now with this Trump, Robert F. Kennedy, more unity party rather than just Republican Party, it feels like those that are more interested in principle over party or politics, more and more of those people are being attracted. Yes, the hangers-on that are just looking for a free ride and a meal ticket are also joining whichever ticket they can to get that free meal and that free ride. but I don't see that from Tulsi. And I don't see that from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And I don't see that from Elon. So it seems to be that there's a team being formed that is very, very exciting. I might not agree with Tulsi on everything. She has said a few times that she's pro gun control to a certain degree, although that stance has softened since she's left the Democratic Party. Same thing with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He was a real hard anti-gunner, but that seems to have softened more recently. Might have been because he was running for president, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that regard. But those places where she might not jive with the current, or with the more conservative Donald Trump ticket, put her in a position where she wouldn't be involved in those things where she might be a little bit more suspect. I think if she was put in as Secretary of State, that would be really neat. Secretary of Defense, I'd be okay with, but I think Colonel Douglas Macgregor would be a better choice as Secretary of Defense. He was he Colonel or Lieutenant Colonel? Colonel, I think it was Colonel. But he has more years under his belt. He's able to better understand the logistics of the military a little bit better, and I think he wouldn't be able to be pushed around as easily as other people. I don't know. I don't think she would be able to be pushed around very easily either. However, I think he would be better because of his years of experience. Again, I'm looking for a meritocracy, not a DEI related cabinet. DEI must die. Let's go with the meritocracy. Put the best people in the best positions, and let's make America healthy again, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has said, and let's make America great again. On the flip side, or on the opposite side, we have the DEI cabinet of Biden and Kamala Harris that has really, really damaged America. Just look at East Palestine. What happened there? Train derailment. How long did it take for Pete Buttigieg to get there? It took him like a month or 2 months, maybe longer. I can't even remember. But Trump, as a private citizen, got to East Palestine before Pete Buttigieg. That should tell you something right there. And he wasn't even running for president at that point in time. He was just a private citizen. Pretty sure he wasn't running for president at that point in time. I think that was before he announced. But there are so many things within the Biden presidency that has been just a colossal failure because of his DEI picks. Because it was so important to get the gay transvestite. Is he a transvestite? Kleptomaniac nuclear engineer in there, or the transsexual admiral for Health and Human Services. I think that's where they put him/her. Or the guy that's over infectious disease that is a huge BDSM, Satan worshiping guy. Really weird looking. It's so full of weirdos and degenerates that it's shocking how much America has slipped in just 4 years. I am not saying that Trump was perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I vehemently disagree with many of his picks for cabinet, but I think he did a lot better than Biden. Low bar, I know. But anyway, Tulsi Gabbard is a great person to get an endorsement from. I don't know if that'll swing very many Democrats, but those that are principled, I think it'll mean something too. Again, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. added to that. I think it's good. Anyway, I'm glad to see it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.